dive into the depths of time, back to the turn of the 18th century, a turbulent era where the Great Northern War raged across Scandinavia. Let's set the stage. It was a time of power struggles and shifting alliances. Scandinavia, a region of harsh winters and breathtaking landscapes, was a battleground. The main players, Sweden, Russia, Poland, Lithuania, and Denmark-Norway, all vying for supremacy. The stakes were high, the tension palpable, and the region was a tinderbox waiting for a spark to ignite it. The Great Northern War, a conflict that spanned 2 decades from 1700 to 1721, was that spark. It was a war that would shape the course of history in Scandinavia and beyond. The mighty kingdom of Sweden, once the dominant power in the region, found itself pitted against a coalition of adversaries. Russia, under the ambitious rule of Tsar Peter the Great, sought to expand its territories and establish itself as a major European power. Poland-Lithuania, a union straddling between East and West, was caught in the crossfire. Denmark-Norway, a kingdom with a powerful navy, was eager to reclaim territories lost to Sweden in previous conflicts. The war was brutal, marked by shifting alliances, strategic maneuvers, and fierce battles. It was a time of uncertainty, where the balance of power in Northern Europe hung in the balance. Amidst this backdrop of war and political intrigue, the players on this grand chessboard of Europe were ready to make their moves. In this volatile mix of power and ambition, the stage was set for one of the most significant battles of the Great Northern War. It was a battle that would test the mettle of these adversaries, a battle that would echo through the annals of history. In the midst of this chaos, a significant battle unfolded on a chilly October day in 1710, the Battle of Køge Bay. On the 4th of October, 1710, the waters of Køge Bay bristled with anticipation. As the sun began to rise over the Baltic, 3 ships found themselves in a standoff. The Danish line ship Dannebrog and the Swedish ships Trekronor and Prinsessan Ulrika Eleonora sat in the water, their cannons silent, their crews tense. The Danish and Swedish navies were no strangers to conflict, having clashed numerous times throughout the Great Northern War. Yet every battle was unique, every encounter a new test of mettle and strategy. The Dannebrog, a formidable force of the Danish Navy, was a sight to behold. Its cannons, ready for action, gleamed in the morning light. The ship's crew, a mix of seasoned sailors and fresh recruits, were united by a single purpose: to defend their homeland. Across the bay, the Swedish ships Trekronor and Prinsessan Ulrika Eleonora were equally impressive. The Trekronor, named after the 3 crowns of the Swedish coat of arms, was a symbol of Swedish might and resilience. The Prinsessan Ulrika Eleonora, named after the Swedish queen, was a testament to the importance of naval power in the Swedish strategy. Their crews, hardened by years of war, were ready to face whatever the Danes had in store for them. As the morning turned into afternoon, the wind picked up, stirring the waters of Køge Bay into a frothy tumult. The ships, once immobile, began to sway with the rhythm of the waves. The tension was palpable. Every sailor, every soldier knew that the calm was deceptive. The real storm was yet to come, and so, under the watchful eyes of their commanders, and with the fate of their nations hanging in the balance, the Danish and Swedish navies prepared for battle. Each ship, each crew, each man understood the gravity of the situation. This was not just another skirmish. This was a defining moment in the Great Northern War. The stage was set for a battle that would be remembered through the ages. Gunpowder hung heavy in the air as the first shots of the battle rang out across Køge Bay. The Danish and Swedish fleets, both formidable in their own right, had finally come face to face. The stillness of the morning was shattered by the deafening roar of cannons. The once tranquil Køge Bay was now a sprawling theater of war, a stage where the fate of nations would be decided. The Danish line of battle, led by the mighty Dannebrog, advanced with a grim determination. The Swedish, on the other hand, held their ground, their ships anchored in a defensive formation. The two sides exchanged volleys, cannonballs tearing through sails and shattering timber. The water churned with the violence of the battle, the smell of burning wood and gunpowder filling the air. The Danish, using their superior numbers, sought to encircle the Swedish fleet, but the Swedes, led by the Tre Kronor and the Prinsessan Ulrika Eleonora, fought back fiercely. Their strategy was to hold their line and use their heavy artillery to punish any Danish ship that dared to venture too close. But the battle was about to take a tragic turn. The Dannebrog, the pride of the Danish fleet, caught fire. Attempts to extinguish the flames proved futile. The fire reached the gunpowder magazine, causing a massive explosion that tore the ship apart. The Dannebrog was lost, along with many brave Danish sailors. The explosion sent shockwaves through the Danish fleet. The Swedes, however, were not left unscathed. The Tre Kronor and the Prinsessan Ulrika Eleonora ran aground, their hulls damaged and their maneuverability severely impaired. The fury of the battle was abruptly halted by the harsh weather conditions. The wind picked up, the waves grew taller, and visibility dropped. Both sides, battered and bruised, were forced to cease their engagement. As the smoke cleared, the battle seemed to pause, the outcome still uncertain. In the aftermath of the explosion, the Swedish ships Tre Kronor and Prinsessan Ulrika Eleonora ran aground. The brutal clash of the Great Northern War had taken a dramatic turn on the 4th of October 1710 in the waters of Køge Bay, just south of Copenhagen. The Danish line ship Dannebrog had just exploded, its debris raining down on the frigid sea. The Swedish vessels, Tre Kronor and Prinsessan Ulrika Eleonora, were not spared from the chaos. Their fate was sealed as they found themselves helplessly grounded on the unforgiving seabed. The mighty ships, once symbols of Sweden's formidable naval power, were now stuck, unable to continue the fight. As if the scene wasn't dramatic enough, the weather decided to have a say in the proceedings. A sudden shift in weather conditions threw a wrench into the already volatile situation. The skies darkened, the winds howled, and the sea began to churn with a ferocity that matched the intensity of the battle. In the face of such tumultuous conditions, further engagement became impossible. The raging elements forced both sides to retreat, and the once fierce battle turned into a tense stalemate. The ships, both Danish and Swedish, could only wait as the storm decided the rhythm of the war. The seascape was a surreal picture of war's toll, smoking remnants of the exploded Danish ship, grounded Swedish vessels, and the relentless storm. The Battle of Køge Bay was in a state of suspended animation, caught between the fury of war and the wrath of nature. In this standoff, the day's events had left their mark on the waters of Køge Bay. The scars of the battle were etched into the sea and the ships, a stark reminder of the price of war. The once bustling bay was now a silent witness to the conflict, its waters bearing the burden of the day's events. The Battle of Køge Bay had come to a standstill, the seas scarred by the day's events. The Battle of Køge Bay, a historical event, left a lasting imprint on the Great Northern War. Let's take a moment to reflect on the significant battle that unfolded on the chilly waters off the coast of Denmark. On the 4th of October, 1710, the Danish line ship Dannebrog exploded in a dramatic turn of events. Two Swedish ships, Tre Kronor and Prinsessan Ulrika Eleonora, ran aground. The harsh weather conditions prevented the battle from continuing, marking an abrupt and explosive end to the conflict. In the immediate aftermath of the Battle of Køge Bay, the Danish naval forces suffered a significant blow. The loss of the Dannebrog, a vital asset in their fleet, marked a turning point in the Great Northern War. The Danish Navy's strength was severely depleted, and their ability to challenge the Swedish forces at sea was compromised. The impact of this battle stretched far beyond the immediate loss of ships and manpower. It shifted the balance of naval power in the region, giving the Swedish forces the upper hand. This change in power dynamics altered the course of the war, influencing strategies and altering alliances. The Battle of Køge Bay also had long-term outcomes that reverberated throughout the region. It highlighted the importance of naval power in the war, leading to a renewed focus on shipbuilding and naval tactics in both Denmark and Sweden. This focus on naval warfare set the stage for future conflicts and shaped the military strategies of these Scandinavian nations for generations to come. This battle also left an indelible mark on the collective memory of the Scandinavian people. It has been immortalized in art, literature, and folklore, serving as a reminder of the turbulent times and the sacrifices made during the Great Northern War. Thus, the Battle of Køge Bay remains a poignant chapter in the annals of Scandinavian history, a testament to the turbulent times of the Great Northern War.